Hello and welcome to the first episode of the newly christened Noise Brigade Podcast. I'm your host, Bobby, and I'm here today with a very special guest. It's my nephew, Payton. He lives with me. I've been raising him like my son. Say hi, Payton.
Hello.
And today we're going to talk about a couple things with Payton. His birthday's coming up, so I wanted to get him on here. He got an awesome new present today. It's a really cool motorized bicycle. Goes pretty fast. He was making me chase him on a normal bicycle, and he was quite a bit faster than me. I even got on it and tried to ride it, and that was kind of funny to see. We're going to talk about a couple things. I'm going to ask him a couple questions about video games, and I'm going to ask him about his favorite wrestler, and then we're going to finish up this episode with our Royal Rumble predictions. So
Yes, sir.
I'm sure that most likely mine will be wrong, and I'm sure I'm missing the pre-show, and who knows? They always throw extra matches in there, but we're gonna pick the Universal Championship match, the WWE Championship match, the Men's Royal Rumble, and the Women's Royal Rumble. So without any further ado, hi Peyton.
Hello.
So tell me a little bit about what your favorite game is right now.
My favorite game is probably, for the time being, Halo, like usual. I like how the Spartans have, like, the Mark II, Mark III, Mark V Mjolnir armor, and that you can, change your armor, or upgrade it, or just make it whatever your mind comes to.
All right, so you like the customization of it?
Yeah, pretty much.
What's your favorite mode to play?
Probably Firefight.
Firefight, that's my favorite too.
Okay. Yeah.
All right.
Actually, no, probably Story, actually.
Yeah?
Honestly.
All right. Well, what other games are you playing right now that you like?
Fortnite, I can't really think of any other ones.
All right. What do you like about Fortnite?
Well, first, there's a bunch of different modes. There's the normal bit where you can do, like, duos, trios, squads, solo, and then there's Team Rumble, which I personally like the best, which I play the most. And then I also like how there's, like, community creations where you can go into creative, create your own thing with friends, or you can just do it yourself. I like that bit where you can just create your own little game in a game. That's pretty cool, I think. Okay. And also how you can upgrade your character or just customize him or her. Like this, there's a big variety of skins and customization packs right now. But yeah, that's pretty much it.
All right. What about Among Us?
Yes, Among Us is amazing. Usually, first, a little tip. If you have a touchscreen or really just anything, you could also, one way that might help you be imposter more is to click when it says shush, click on shush, and it should give you a bit of a
boost?
Yes, a boost of a chance to be imposter. Right now, it worked. I was imposter about like 7 times in a row, but now it's not working. I think I used all my luck about.
Okay.
That's probably about really what happened. But
well, you heard it here first, folks. There's your little pro tip on Among Us. And what about Fall Guys? How do you like Fall Guys?
Fall Guys is absolutely amazing. Even though it has fallen in popularity a bit because people have started to notice Among Us, even though my uncle here said that it was out for like 3 years or something, it just got noticed a bit, so not just a bit really, but yeah. So, but Fall Guys, my opinion, is amazing. I love all the different maps, and yeah.
What games are people talking about in your school?
Among Us, Fortnite,
Those are really the two big ones, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, let's get into a little bit of wrestling talk here. So if you had to pick your favorite wrestler, who would it be?
It would probably be Daniel Bryan. And before we go on, I just want to say last year, I think it was, we did our predictions when he didn't have the podcast yet. He won the men's predictions, but I won the women's predictions. So I just wanted to put that out there. But my favorite wrestler would probably be Daniel Bryan.
Okay, and why is Daniel Bryan your favorite?
Well, ever since I started watching wrestling with my uncle, he's been both of our favorite wrestlers since. So that's mostly why, because he's the very first one that was my favorite since I started watching it.
All right, who's your favorite? Do you have a favorite female wrestler?
Well, you like, I know you like
Asuka.
But she's pretty good, so probably her.
Her? What about Becky Lynch? Do you like Becky Lynch?
Yeah.
And Sasha? Sasha Banks?
I forgot who that is.
Well, we'll get to see her probably in the Rumble tomorrow or Sunday. So
yeah, I didn't really watch much wrestling for quite a bit. But
yeah, well, we're gonna get back into it now. We've got some cool stuff coming up. So
yeah, sounds pretty
on
fun.
the road to WrestleMania, and got a lot of cool stuff with AEW out there that you need to check out too. So, all right, without any further ado, let's get to our Royal Rumble picks. So the first match we picked was the Universal Championship match between Kevin Owens and Roman Reigns. I believe that's been made into a last man standing match. Now, personally, I love Kevin Owens. I think he's definitely one of my favorite wrestlers right now. But in this match and for the storyline purposes, I think that Roman Reigns is going to win. He's coming in as the champ, and I think the head of the table is going to leave as the champ. And Payton, you picked Roman Reigns to win too. Why did you pick Roman Reigns?
Well, usually he goes up against a really strong opponent, so he has to train. So the more he trains, stronger he gets. And so he would train a lot, and so he would most likely be really strong. So that is the reason why.
Okay. All right.
Because I think he is very strong and a good wrestler.
All right. So that's both of us down in the Roman Reigns column. As far as the WWE Championship, that's going to be the champion Drew McIntyre versus Goldberg. And this one we were split on. I chose the champion, Drew McIntyre, the Scottish psychopath himself, and Payton chose Goldberg. So, Payton, why did you choose Goldberg?
Well, I don't know if you were here when I was watching him, but I saw him, and he came out. I think he was retired, wasn't he, for a bit? And he came back, and he was really strong when I last saw him. So, from what I remember, he is a very, very good wrestler, very strong. But yeah, that's last time I saw him. He was really strong. He was a really, really good wrestler. He'd be a really good person for sure. So,
okay, very good, very good. All right, so now we'll go on to the Women's Royal Rumble match. And I think that this could go a lot of different ways. I would love to see Asuka win it. Heck, I don't know if Becky's ready to come back, but it'd be really cool for her to come back and win it. But ultimately, I'm going to go with Shayna Baszler. And Payton, you picked Charlotte Flair. Why do you think Charlotte Flair is going to win?
Well, last year I picked Charlotte Flair because there's a couple matches where she stood up to a lot of really hard opponents, and she got hit quite a couple times, but she still stood up to it and won. So, and that's really why I picked her again, because last time she won and she put up with a lot of really hard opponents too throughout when I've seen her. So
very good. All right, and then for the final match, the men's Royal Rumble match. Now, this match, gosh, there's so many good wrestlers in it. There's so many people that could still show up that we don't know because they haven't announced everybody. And that's who I'm actually, as much as I would love to be sentimental and say that Edge is going to win it, and I would really love to see Edge or Daniel Bryan win it. I think Brock Lesnar is going to come back, and I think he's going to end up winning it, setting up a title feud with Roman Reigns, which will be interesting because last time we saw Brock Lesnar, one Mr. Paul Heyman was the advocate for him, and now he's working with Roman Reigns. So it would be very interesting to see that matchup. Now, Payton had mentioned to me that he wasn't sure. He thought, AJ Styles could win it. He thought that maybe Brock Lesnar could win it. That he even came out with a good pick in Dolph Ziggler, which I love. I would love to see Dolph Ziggler win the Royal Rumble, but ultimately he went with Daniel Bryan. So Peyton, why did you go with Daniel Bryan?
Well, I just felt like it was a good pick because, again, he's been my favorite for a lot, and you told me that a lot of people have been picking him. So I thought once you said that, I was like, oh, well, that seems, I guess, good prediction. So since so many people are going with him, I guess I would too. So.
And that's true. That's a very good point. A
Why
lot of people have been going with Daniel Bryan. They think that, maybe one last run, one last shot at the title, and that maybe he's the guy to take on Roman Reigns and be that baby face in peril against the unstoppable Roman Reigns. So, all right, guys, that has been
I
our.
do have one more question. What do you mean by the last run? Is he going to retire after this?
Well, Daniel Bryan's had a lot of injuries, and as we all know, he came back from a very bad neck injury, which is actually
a child. So.
Well, yeah, and that's the thing. He's had a child, and I believe that and she is pregnant again. So he's going to have another child, and he wants to spend time with his family. He's done enough in the ring, and he's going to probably step back to a more behind the scenes, or maybe like a part-time, kind of like what John Cena does and what some of the other guys do, like Goldberg.
Yeah, so I feel good for him, and I hopefully he has a good rest of his career, and if he does retire, hopefully he has a fantastic time with his family. But without further ado, back to you.
All right. Well, Peyton, thank you for being on the podcast with me. We've been wanting to do that for a while, and I'm sure we're going to do it again. Hopefully, we'll be getting on with Tom and Danielle and Katie and Tommy, and we'll be talking about some Among Us and doing a little bit more in depth on that. But everybody out there, thank you very much for listening. This has been the first episode of the Noise Brigade, the first official episode, and we'll be back hopefully maybe before the Royal Rumble, maybe the day of the Royal Rumble. We'll